Northland. So today's video, it's going to be just some of my takeaways from Italy, tips, tricks, and whatever else. If you plan on going to Italy, especially, and I'm sure a lot of these will apply. Excuse the heater, going to turn on. It's cold outside. But I'm sure a lot of these tips and stuff will apply to other places as well. But some of these are maybe European, if not Italy specific. So sit back, enjoy. I'll see you at the back end. And, if anybody has any comments, anything I skipped and shouldn't have or forgot about, go ahead and comment below. Let me know. All right, let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, pickpockets. I carry my phone either front shirt pocket, front pants pocket, something like that. Don't carry your wallet in your back pocket. I mean, just pretty simple stuff, really. Backpacks, I would not wear on your back unless it's a zipper, and preferably maybe something that's a little bit more difficult to open than just a quick zip. If you can lock the zipper with, say, a carabiner or something they'd have to use two hands on, or wear the backpack reverse in the front. My wife had a small purse with zippers on it that she either wore under her arm or in front. You do that, you're gonna be safe. You don't have nothing to worry about. We didn't even come close to having any problems with anybody. So even toting our luggage from the train station, of course we had locks on them, but I wasn't concerned ever about somebody lifting something off of us. A couple other things, simple things, just things that I've noticed. Water is not a big thing around here. If you go out to dinner, you're not going to get a glass of water unless you ask for it. You have to ask for aqua, and they'll ask you if you want it carbonated or still, natural, and that would be just regular water to us. And like I said, you'll have to ask for it. They'll bring you a bottle and a glass. Nobody here drinks from the bottle. Even if they bring you a pop, it'll be like they sell Coke products here. Coke Zero. I haven't seen any Diet Coke. Sprite, Fanta. You won't find any Pepsi products most likely, so don't be looking for that. And again, they typically don't drink from the bottle or can. They pour everything in a glass. The main things with, say, dinner is beer and wine. And if you ask for water, they will charge you for it, so don't expect to get water for free. And it depends on the restaurant as to how much that might cost. Sometimes the water comes in glass bottles. Sometimes it comes in the flimsy little plastic bottles like we're used to. But like I said, don't expect the free water. It's, we take that for granted in America. So I also recommend just learning some basic Italian. You don't need to know the whole Italian language, but things like grazie, thank you, grazie mille, or thank you a million, prego, you're welcome. The police, military police, I think, is carabinieri, and the regular police is Polizia Statale or something to that effect. Anyway, everybody here has been very kind, very polite, very gracious. There's only been a couple of occasions where, I should say, a couple of people that were kind of rude. There was a beggar at the train station that we refused to give anything to, and he started cussing at us. But aside from that, things have been pretty good. You got to watch out for the swindlers and the scammers. The guys that come up to you and try to give you a rose or a bracelet, and they want to try and be your friend and say, "Oh, here's a gift for you," but then they want something in return, right? So I kind of watch for that kind of stuff. But by and large, I mean, if you just say no, put your hand up right away, they tend to leave you alone, so they don't pester you forever. As long as you make it clear right from the start that you're not interested. What else? Taxis are everywhere. You don't have to, typically you don't have to call one or wave one down. There's little spots almost, I want to say on every corner. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but usually, you know, within a block you'll find a spot where there's taxis, and they're usually some waiting for fares, so that's not usually an issue getting around town. You know, Venice, there was the water taxis and water buses, and those are pretty much the same things as a regular cab. Long distances, you take the train. The express trains, I think, run every half hour, so they're not usually hard to come by. And the local type trains, I think they run every, don't quote me on this, I want to say every 10 minutes or something to that effect. But again, you go to the train station, you buy a ticket. You usually don't have to wait long. You just got to keep an eye on the board, because oftentimes they will tell you to watch the board, that it'll pop up on there 10 minutes before the train arrives, and then you go to your assigned car or whatever, and we'll get on. But you're not going to know far in advance, so you just have to kind of pay attention. Let's see, what else? Weather. Even though it's sunny now, helicopter, we haven't seen too many of those. It's been rainy. Now, I don't know if that's just the time of year or whatever, but just be prepared for, wet weather. Let's see. Going back to the language for a second. One of the things that most of the people here will speak English, at least to a degree. Again, not everybody, but here's an example. The other day when we were at the Vatican, we couldn't figure out how to get out of the main courtyard area. There were no signs or anything, so I walked up to a police officer and asked him where the museum entrance was, or where the exit was to the Vatican. And he looked at me and he had no idea what I was talking about. But I said, "Uscita, exit." And he knew right away. So, like I said, just learn some basic words, and that will go a long way towards getting you what you need or want here in Italy. It's a very beautiful country, great food, and for the most part, the people are very polite. As for the food, be prepared for some things are smaller portions than what we're used to. As an example, yesterday morning I asked for waffle. In America we get these big plate-sized waffles, right? I got basically a half of a waffle cut in half. So 2 pieces of waffle that were, probably that big, that long, and not very big at all. So this morning I asked for 2 pieces of French toast, thinking I'm going to get basically a half of a French toast if I ask for 1, right? Well, I got 2 pieces of French toast, no bigger than the waffle I got. So be prepared. Maybe get clarification if you're concerned about what you're going to get beforehand, on how much the portion is. And also with seafood, if you're squeamish about the kind of stuff that ends up on your plate, again, get clarification before you order it, because a lot of the seafood here is served whole, let's say. Like shrimp, you get the entire shrimp, not just the shrimp tails that you eat that we're used to, right? Piece of fish isn't just a fish fillet. Usually it's the fish head and the skin as well. I ordered a seafood spaghetti and I got clams in the shell. So you got to be clear about what you're ordering beforehand if that kind of stuff bothers you. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. It didn't bother me. I just dug it out. The only thing I don't like about it is it's kind of like eating crab. It's very good, but I don't like to have to work for my dinner. So keep that in mind. As far as dinner portions go, they're, I would say, about what we're used to. We got lasagna the other day. It was a good sized piece of lasagna. Things like spaghetti, or spaghetti, pizza, they don't tend to use a lot of sauce here. So, but they don't need to. It's not like, it's not like in America where, I don't know, there's like a lot of preservatives and a lot of junk in the food that we get. Here, a lot of it is all natural. It's got none of the junk in it. They don't believe in butter here so much. You'll get, a lot of times you'll get bread with your dinner, but you won't get butter. It's just plain bread. If you're somebody that needs to have something with your bread, oftentimes they will get you some olive oil or some dipping oil, like with herbs and stuff in it. But butter, you can, sometimes you can get it. It just depends on the restaurant. Not every restaurant will have butter for you. So be prepared for that. What else? Like I said, the food here is absolutely fantastic. So I would definitely shy away from the American type foods. Believe it or not, we did see a Burger King here in Rome the other day. We saw a Kentucky Fried Chicken at I think it was at the airport. There was a McDonald's at the train station. So, you can find the things that we're used to, but, you come all this way, I would shy away from it personally. And again, even my wife was saying she stopped in at McDonald's the other day for a Coke, and it was for the both of us. And she said that they were serving things that I don't know if she had a name for it, but she said that they were serving stuff that didn't look like what they serve to us in America. So if you want something, say from a McDonald's or Burger King, that might be a little different, go ahead and try it, I guess. But for me, I'm in Italy. I want real Italian food, not American Italian food like we get in the States. So it just seems silly to come here and go to McDonald's. As for getting wine with dinner, they don't, again, not like in the States, they don't typically sell wine by the glass. Again, like what we're used to. You can get either an entire bottle of wine, or you can sometimes get a half bottle. Again, depending on the restaurant, sometimes it can be a good half bottle of wine. I would shy away from the house wines. The smaller, say, mom and pop restaurants have, you can get like a half a bottle of house wine, which is what I got last night, because I'm typically the only one who drinks wine with dinner. And let me tell you, it was probably the worst wine I've ever had. I can tell they tried. They were very nice waiter, very nice owners. Like I said, mom and pop operation, and the food was very good. The wine, not so much. So if you're going to order wine, if wine is your thing, I would just stay away from the house wines. Get the bigger name brands. And again, you probably won't find the same stuff. If you have a favorite wine in America, you're probably not going to find that here. But that doesn't mean that that what you're drinking is not good. It just, it's just different stuff here, different environment, whole different atmosphere. So I would definitely try some different things. Go out of your comfort zone. As far as waiters, waitresses, and that kind of thing, we haven't been like with restaurants, we haven't been tipping. I don't think that's a part of the culture here. Now, when you go to, say, use a cab or taxi, or a bellhop, or somebody who's, you know, delivering your luggage, that kind of a thing, if you offer a tip, they will very much appreciate it. So, you know, keep that in mind, that a tip isn't always expected here. It just kind of depends on where you're at. Like, I think we're staying at kind of a nicer hotel, and when the gentleman delivered our bags, he didn't seem like he was expecting a tip. My wife offered him something, and he was very appreciative that he took it. At the particular hotel we're at, this has been a great hotel. People have been awesome. They seem to be genuinely happy to see you, to serve you. And again, the other day, you know, there was an umbrella that came with the hotel. It was raining. I took the umbrella to the Vatican with us. They made me check it at the coat check, bag check, whatever you want to call it. And by the time we got back there, of course, the place was closed. So I was a little upset that I couldn't get my umbrella back to bring back to the hotel. It was a $25 cab ride to the Vatican, and so I thought, well, geez, they said, well, you can come back tomorrow and get it. Well, $25 there, $25, that's a $50 umbrella. I mean, I don't think so. So I was prepared to come back here to the hotel, pay whatever charge I was going to need to pay to replace the umbrella. They told me, don't worry about it. And so, you know, if that's something that is going to concern you, again, you might want to check before you leave your hotel with, you know, if your hotel provides an umbrella or whatever they provide in whatever hotel you're staying at. You might want to make sure before you leave that, hey, if I lose it, if it gets stolen, if whatever, how much is it going to cost me to replace it if I have to? That way you know beforehand. Other than that, I think this has been a great place. I would not have any reservations about coming here again at some point in my life. Italy is I suppose, kind of like any other country. You know, there's a lot to see here. I recommend trying not to rush through things, to see as much as you can. I would, depending on how much time you have here, pick out whichever things are the most important to you and spend quality time in those places versus, again, rushing through them and seeing as much as possible. Like, we were only here in Rome 2 full days, so obviously for us it was the Vatican and the Colosseum were the 2 biggest things. Tomorrow we leave Rome for a new destination. Previously we were in Venice, like I said. For my wife, to me, I didn't have anything necessarily in mind other than obviously the canal. You know, my wife, she really liked the Basilica on St. Mark's Square, and there were some other things that were important to her, so that's what we did. We just made sure we reserved enough time for those individual places. But there's the Amalfi Coast. You come up, there's all kinds of things. So again, take your time, just pick out the things that are the most important to you and spend quality time in those places. And packing wise, depending on, everybody packs different. For us, we're going to be here 3 weeks. Like I said, we leave Rome tomorrow, and we got another 2 weeks here. So for us, we each brought two suitcases and a carry-on. I had a long time ago taken a cruise where they lost one of my suitcases. Lucky for me, it was a lot of my formal wear. And the cruise line gave me a tuxedo to borrow until I got my regular suitcase back. So ever since then, I've always split things up fairly evenly between 2 suitcases. Obviously, one suitcase is smaller, but let's say you bring 5 things, 5 pairs of jeans or whatever, I put 3 pairs in one suitcase, 2 in the other. That way, if you lose a suitcase, you always have, at least several days of comfortable clothing, formal clothing if you plan on going out somewhere nice, and so on, say beach attire or whatever. So make sure you pack accordingly. Also, at least in Rome, they have these storage places for luggage, which is what we did as soon as we got off the train here. We went pretty much across the street to a storage facility, and we each stored a suitcase there. That way you're not lugging around 2 suitcases all over the country. Tomorrow, before we go to our next stop, since we're in the next time we come back to Rome will be the day we leave, we're actually going to pick up our other suitcase. That way we don't have to stop at the storage place. So don't be afraid to overpack, I would say. And remember, you can always send stuff home. There's post offices here, just like there are in the States, and you can always mail stuff home if you need to. All right, so I'll stop rambling here. If anybody has any questions, don't be afraid to comment below. Reach out to me, and I can tell you at least what I've learned of Italy, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. So smash that like and subscribe, even if you didn't like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. Tap the little bell at the bottom. That way you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. And make sure you share it with somebody. Even if they're not interested, share it. But especially if they're interested. I'm just trying to switch things up a little bit. But anyway, stay safe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.